Good morning everyone and welcome to Mystery Stamping. Hope you're having a fabulous Saturday morning. Welcome to winter. Here in southeast Queensland, or in Brisbane, it's a bit rainy and it's not really cold, but it's wet, and that's unlike our winter really. So I hope you're having the best day. I am having a fabulous morning. So let's see who we've got watching this morning. Hi Lisa, are you joining in Mystery Stamping today? Got a couple of other people watching. So today's Mystery Stamping is a nice easy one. I have got a lot of things happening today, and so I thought that I would make it a nice easy project, and we could go from there. So let's talk about what you need this morning. So on my clues, I've done both the US and Australian measurements because I know some of our North American friends watch as well. So what you're going to need, I'll go through the Aussie things of what you need. That's great that you're going to try, Lisa. Trust me, it's not hard. All right. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of 5 3/4 by 8 inch cardstock. Ignore the fact that I've already scored mine. Then you'll need, and that's in white, then you'll need some 3 by 5.5 inch. Also need a piece of white scrap, about 2 inches. If you've got extra strap, you might need that as well. It depends how intricate you want to make it. I've aimed for something nice, quick and simple. And you also need a strip of pattern paper. So it's just 1/2 inch by 5.5 inches. Your card's going to be portrait, so it's going to be this way. So you need to make sure that your pattern paper is, if it's directional, is cut the right way, right? And you're going to need some ribbon or some twine, and you will also need, now this is optional. Hi Glenda, are you stamping with us today for Mystery Stamping? We're just going through the clues. Okay, you're also going to need an embossing folder and a die cutting machine. If you don't have an embossing folder and die cutting machine, I will give you a different alternative to use. But you might use stamps, you might use scoring, so we'll talk about that. You need a sentiment image or image stamp, or both, and coordinating punches or dies that will fit your 2 inch by 2 inch vanilla scrap. That's great, Glenda. You'll need some multi-purpose glue. You'll need your inks as well. A bone folder, your block or your Stamparatus, possibly, you definitely need your paper trimmer or a simply scored tool. And maybe you take your picture, and you'll need some bling and embellishments, Wink of Stella, and if you're being really organised, your envelope as well. So that's your first clue, your supplies. Has everybody got their supplies ready? So when we're doing mystery stamping, when you've done a clue, you just type in the comments the clue number and done. Then I know when everybody's ready that we can move on to the next clue. So I hope that's okay. I haven't even had my first coffee this morning. I've been very busy. I need to have a sip. Awesome. So are we ready to go? I'm going to assume we are. Lisa, I hope you're ready. Okay, let's move on to the second clue. Okay, so this is where you will need your trimmer. On your long edge of your largest piece of white cardstock, you're going to score it at 4 inches and 4 3/4 inches. If you're in the US, I've put the things in brackets. Oh, Glenda, you're ready for coffee number 2. Oh, I'm ready for coffee number 6, but I'm just drinking my first one now. You're going to fold it in half and you're going to burnish your score lines with your bone folder. And I don't normally do this on camera, so I am going to go off camera now. Hi, Estelle. Welcome to Mystery Stamping. I hope you're having a great morning. Better share this with people, hadn't I? So when you've done that first clue, just type in the comments 2 and done. Okay. The scores were at 4 inch and 3 3/4 inch. Glenda? Oh, do we need to zoom in a bit? How about I do that? Will it let me do that? Is that a bit better? That looks a bit better. Probably won't be able to zoom out, but yeah. Okay. So 4 inches, so that's the halfway mark, and then another 3/4 of an inch. So when you've done clue number 2, just type in the comments clue 2 and done. So it's just such a rainy, miserable day here today. It's my sister's 60th birthday this weekend, and she's out in Stanthorpe, and I thought, oh my goodness, she's so crazy. It's so cold out there. And when I spoke to my brother-in-law yesterday, he said it was freezing, and that it was really, really cold. It's like, oh well. Okay, so Lisa, have you done that step? Just type 2 and done. Excellent. All right, moving on to clue number 3. So you're going to add, did I say fold it in half? You needed to fold it in half, if I didn't say that. You're going to add your 1/2 inch strip of pattern paper to this 3/4 inch section on the front of your card. Now I am doing this along with you, so, and it should have an equal border around all 3 sides of it. So when you've done clue number 3, type 3 and done. It's hard to believe that retreat was last weekend. I had the best time. I'm still going through my photos and still doing some of the admin work from that. So making sure that the written instructions for our at-home people are tested. and the videos are an epic tale. But anyway, we won't even go there. All right. So when you've done clue number 3, just type 3 and done. I need you to type what number you've done because otherwise I get a bit lost. Right. Because sometimes it doesn't come up. Awesome. That's great, Lisa. So you're keeping up so far. It's not hard. It's not a hard card at all today. And Glenda, I'm assuming you're done. I can see you're done there. So I'm thinking that's you. Yes. All right. Clue number 4. So this is a nice quick card today. So you've got this piece here. You're going to use your embossing folder to emboss it. If you don't have an embossing folder, you can use a stencil and stencil on it. You can do what I'm going to do with this one, and I'm going to show you this on camera. I've got my trimmer, and I am just going to score it at 1/2 inch intervals to make like a grid pattern. So this is a really good way if you don't have, oh, that was a 3/4 inch, so we'll do 3/4 inch ones first. So I'm just scoring my, but if you're using an embossing folder, you don't need to do this, do you? Because you're going to emboss it. So dry emboss it. But if you don't have an embossing folder, this is what you might choose to do. Is just score it at either 1/2 or 3/2 inch sections is actually better because it's more even. I'm just showing you this so don't think because you don't have an embossing folder that you can't make this card. There's always an alternate, a workaround. And I'm just scoring mine to make a scored pattern, just so that you don't just have a plain piece of white. Okay, this is the step that might take you a few minutes, but that's okay, isn't it? School line, a 1/2 inch there. Just make it like it's supposed to be like that. So you can add as many or as few score lines as you like. So it just gives it. So if you don't have an embossing folder, you can just score it. I'll do that tiny bit over here to make it look like it's meant to have a border all the way around it. There we go. I'll do a tiny bit here. So you can score as much or as little as you like. So this is only if you don't have an embossing folder, or you're choosing not to stamp it. I'm choosing not to stamp it because I want it to be white. Okay? You can do what you like. So, if you're not doing the scored bit and you've dry embossed it using your embossing folder, you let me know when you're done. So say 4 and done. Then I know where we're up to. Okay, excellent. That's great, Glenda. So Glenda, is it raining up your way? I know, not far from you, my girlfriends Heather and Liz are doing a retreat this weekend, and lots of my Rocky friends are going to that one. All right, clue number 4 is done. All right, that's excellent. So you're going to open up your card. Oh, did I say you had to stick that on the front? Yeah, you had to stick it on the front. I forgot to say that. I didn't need to do that. You're going to open up your card and you're going to, in the 3/4 inch section, so this section here, you're going to put some glue, okay? Then you're going to close it up and burnish that section with your bone folder. Don't put too much glue, just a little bit that would secure it. You can use, this is where seal and tear and tape are good because they don't ooze, okay? Because you don't want it oozing out into the rest of your card and sticking it, the whole inside of your card together. Okay. When you have done that one, and the reason you're burnishing it with you when it's closed with your bone folder is just to make sure it's nice and secure. So when you have done that step, just type. Oh yes, it's been raining the last 2 days and it's overcast. Yeah, oh, it's a bit miserable looking here. I'm going to go stamp with Vicky today. We're planning our next retreat. I just finished the last one, literally last weekend, and we're planning the next one. So I'm glad we'll be indoors. 5 and done. That's excellent, Lisa. All right. Okay. Are you going okay, Glenda? It's nice to, I'm happy with how that looks. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to, this is a nice quick card. I reckon we'll be finished by 10 o'clock. Clue number 6. So you've got your 2 inch by 2 inch vanilla cardstock. So you're going to stamp an image or stamp a sentiment. And if you want to die cut it or punch it or fussy cut it with your scissors, or you can just choose to keep it as a square. So you choose whatever you want to do with that. And just, if you need to colour it, you can colour it as well. I'm just doing some very simple stamping on mine today. When I say simple, I mean really simple. When you've done clue number 6, type 6 and done. So I can't wait to share all my photos from retreat with you because they are pretty fun. Steve took some too, so it was, and I know people find it really odd that my husband came on a retreat with us, but he wasn't with us the whole time. He was sort of there for the opening night party, and he was there a few times during the day dropping off food and stuff like that and taking photos, but he really wasn't around. And like if we needed something from the room, we could ring him and he would get it. But he is definitely my partner, and it was good to have him there. Well, and also he keeps me a bit grounded and calm as well, just knowing that he's not far away, because I don't travel. I suffer from very bad anxiety. So knowing that he's not far away was really helpful. and yeah, it's not what other people would do, but it suited us, and everybody just accepted that he was going to be there. So when you've done number 6, just type 6 and done. All right. Awesome. So in this step there, if you wanted to decorate your envelope or your inside of your card, you could do that as well. Step 7. Now, this is you might choose to keep your 2.5-inch layer a square, or you might choose to die cut it. So this is where you're going to die cut it. Make sure whatever your image or sentiment was fits on your die cut, okay? So this is going to be lots of fun. I think this is a nice fun card. And when you've done 7, and yeah, make sure it fits before you cut it. Nothing worse than cutting and going, oh, that didn't fit. You can fussy cut it, you can do whatever you like. I wouldn't fussy cut that layer though. That's just me though. Now this will be my 3rd version of this card. So I've done it in American measurements and I've done it in Aussie measurements. Okay, 7 and done. John, you're powering through it, Lisa. You're probably going quicker than me. All right. Oh, no. Don't you hate when you've had a bit of ink on your finger and it gets on your project? And now you've got to work out a way to make it not so icky. All right, so clue number 8. You're going to layer that sentiment image on the white, from the white onto your cardstock, coloured cardstock, and then you're going to layer those with dimensionals, and then you're going to layer those onto your front of your card. I'm just trying to fix my ink boogers on my card. So when you've done clue number 8, just put 8 and done. So I tried to make it, because it's Saturday morning and the first day of winter, I tried to make it a bit easier today. I have to say that Pebble Path is definitely the new black. Okay, I use it for all sorts of things. I think it's such a pretty colour. I'm just using it again this morning. That's why that sounds like a random statement, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, 8 and done is Glenda. Lisa's 8 and done. All right, I'm getting through this. We're nearly at clue 10. Okay, and our old favourite, clue number 9, bling it up. To add some, if you want to, this is where you're going to add your ribbon or your twine around the sealed section of the card. Keep in mind that you have got pattern paper, so you might not want to cover that up. And you've got to keep in mind you've got to close the card, open and close the card as well. So where you put your ribbon very much depends. Oh, I just wrecked that. It very much depends on how wide your ribbon is and how much you want to see your paper. Okay, that's why I tend to use twine for that step, but I had to give you the option of a narrow ribbon as well. And when you have finished clue number 9, just type 9 and done, and then I can show you my finished cards. And I'll show you the worst one first, which is today's one. Oh dear. Ink boogers are the bane of my existence because I just get ink all over my hands. Oh, Glenda's finished number 9. And Lisa's finished number 9. Oh, I better get a wriggle on. I'm not finished number 9 yet. Well, I'm going to just pretend I have though. All right, so we're ready. Our mystery is solved. So let's have a look. So this is my Australian version. This isn't the one that I did this morning. This is a previous one. So I'll just hold it down a little bit. So I've got my twine. Oh, because it's zoomed in, it's not. So I use the Crafting Forever stamp set on all 3 of my creations. So that's the Australian measurements with the twine and with some die cutting. And then this is, and with the embossing, this is the Australian version complete with ink boogers and without the twine or embossing and without any ribbon or bling, okay? So it's a fairly simple card, but I've used the score lines as the background to give it a bit more interest. It does need the twine. Okay, and then this is the American version where I've just stamped the background. Okay, so you see the American cards are wider and shorter. I wonder if I can zoom out now. Let's just see. No, it's not going to let me zoom out. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. It worked though. So they're my 3 cards. So you've got this morning's little disaster with the ink boogers. The my one that I really like, and I actually, to add a bit of interest, because I wasn't die cutting, I stamped on the background. And this one here is just following the instructions. All right. So, did your cards end up anything like that? I would love to hear if they ended up like that. And I'd love for you to send me a photo of your cards, because it's always good to... Oh, Glenda, yours didn't end up like that at all. Ah. Lisa, did yours end up anything like that? Thank you. Oh, I would be interested, Glenda, to see what yours ended up like. And look, this is the best card for using... You know how when you buy a pack of 6x6, and particularly with Australian card fronts, you lose so much. Oh, I'm sure it was as nice, Lisa. It'll just be different. So you could, like, I originally was going to have that as a circle, but I didn't do that. But like this one, I didn't have the embossing folder, so I just repeat stamped this image here so that I made a background. I do like it with the white background better, all right? But I just wanted to show you, if you don't have an embossing folder, there is something else you can do as an alternative. All right, well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and look, it's only 10:04, so we're doing really well today. We have got mystery stamping on Tuesday night. Keep an eye out on Tuesday for some new kits that are coming out, and also for a special for Stamping Up for next month, where you get an extra 10% off your die bundles and a 10% off one of the embossing machines. So write your wish list and take advantage of that extra 10% off. So instead of getting a 20% bundled a 10% bundled saving, you're getting a 20% one, plus if you're a demonstrator, you're getting a discount on that as well. So that's a really great thing to look out for. On Tuesday, for my newsletter subscribers, you got a newsletter yesterday filled with all the dates that are coming up for my future events up until the end of September. I was going to give you to the end of the year, but I thought that was a bit overwhelming. But I will post those dates in my group and also on the Facebook page. So have an awesome weekend. Whatever you do, hope it's safe and you stay well and you have a great time. Until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.